Hi and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another podcast video. And in today's podcast, we're going to explore whether the US is actually trying to kill crypto. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Do you think the US is actually going out of its way to try to kill crypto? Or do you think this is just FUD and nonsense and just teething issues when it comes to regulation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's podcast, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the desktop. So we're going to start here and look at whether the US are attempting to kill crypto, right? So it sure looks like the US is trying to kill crypto. The federal government's recent actions against crypto are rightly or wrongly widely perceived as correlated attempt to mine digital assets. This risks sending the virtual industry overseas without actual protecting investors. And this is a really cool and interesting article. And obviously I'm not going to go through it in this podcast, but it does align very much to my thoughts and opinions on, what we are seeing, right? We've seen, stable coins being attacked. We're seeing, the Ripple lawsuit, and that's kind of where it all really, began. We're seeing the SEC, requesting billions more dollars to be able to basically, do all this enforcement action because, they see it as an area which is a bit like the Wild West. And, you've seen Coinbase recently being threatened with, a lawsuit. You're seeing issues with exchanges, Kraken, lending protocols, and Binance as well. And we won't get too much into that, but a really interesting article. And, I'm really interested to get people's views and opinions. I do think that it's not really impacting the market so much. We're at $1.19 trillion, up 0.58%. Bitcoin at 28,440. Really neutral, hasn't really moved too much. But it all aligns to I guess the old phrase of actions speak louder than words. This enforcement action from the SEC really isn't protecting anybody. I mean, where was the SEC when Voyager collapsed, when Luna collapsed, when FTX collapsed? I didn't see any real form of protection for investors. And I mean, protecting investors is part of their 3 bullet points mission statement. So I think everything from the SEC is being reactive and actually not proactive. And I question how these people can still be in charge of the SEC. Gary Gensler is an embarrassment. He's done a very poor job in my opinion, and it is just my opinion. But who's he protected? Where are these people, these investors that he's protected under his leadership of the SEC? I can't see any. All I see is investors being negatively impacted. They failed to basically see what was right under their noses with FTX. They failed. They failed epically with FTX. This is one of the biggest donors to government parties. I just think that it's just a big calamity and a bit of a joke, to be honest. It's such a poor run of form that the SEC have. I think they will probably even go on to lose the lawsuit with Ripple. And I think that would be a really positive thing for crypto. But it also speaks volumes when it comes to the SEC. I mean, all of that wasted money on a lawsuit against Ripple, it's ludicrous. And if they go on to fight Coinbase, I could see them losing again. It's been a calamity. Gary Gensler should resign. But before he does, he should fire the entire leadership team at the SEC. then resign. And then I think, it needs somebody in there to be more proactive and lead on a front foot and actually regulate the space safely. Now, you see these individuals saying that, it's the Wild West in cryptocurrency, but in actual fact, it's no different to the traditional finance sector. Banks have been failing recently. Again, the regulators failed there. They failed. They weren't proactive. They should have seen the issues before they happened. They should have seen the lack of risk management, the overexposure, and there should have been processes in place to stop that from actually transpiring. And this is the problem. Nobody wants to do the dirty work that needs to be done in order to actually protect investors and protect the everyday individual. And I think that's where these regulators really do fail. And I do believe that there should be some level of petition to push forward that there's criminal proceedings against some of these people within these leadership roles, within the regulatory bodies for failing. There's jobs out there like lifeguarding and various other jobs where if you fail to do your job, somebody drowns in your swimming pool, for example, you could go to prison. And personally, I think they haven't done the oversight, their due diligence, and really protected anybody. They have failed millions of people. How many people took their own lives because they lost their entire life savings? Where was the protection? And where are the consequences? Because if there are no consequences for these people in these leadership positions within these regulatory firms, then there's no incentive to do the job. And really, not properly anyway, and not with the due diligence that is required. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below. But I see some of these leaders within these regulatory bodies, in a light that, should be the same as the likes of Sam Bankman-Fried. They are just as bad. They're in the same camp as far as I'm concerned. It's terrible. It really is terrible. It's disgusting. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We've got crypto casino Rollbits token drops 20% amid licensing concerns. So some real concerns with this one around, whether they're going to be able to get the licensing required. And because of that, they've seen a big drop in the value of the token. So is this a potential opportunity on the horizon, or is it one that you want to stay well clear of? I don't have a view on it, but let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Another thing to mention is the TikTok ban in the US. I think that this could have a real negative impact on crypto. It sounds crazy, but I do align with this. If they were to ban it, you think of all those individual influencers, YouTubers that are on TikTok. If the ban was to happen, I think that would be massively detrimental to the space. So one to be keeping an eye on, in my opinion. These are the sorts of real world issues and concerns that we should sort of be keeping an eye on when it comes to our investment positions. So, do you think that's going to have an impact? I really do, and that is why I wanted to cover it off. City says mass adoption of crypto will be driven by CBDCs tokenization. And look, I completely agree with this. Tokenization of everything is what we are going to see. We're already seeing, the likes of Starbucks and other retail firms using blockchain technology behind the scenes for customer rewards and loyalty programs and stuff like that. The adoption is already happening. As soon as they're CBDCs, they will be linked to crypto and blockchain wallets. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in the future. For the long term, I am super bullish when it comes to cryptocurrency. In the short term, we've got to be very, very careful in this space. We need to be preserving our capital, in my opinion. and making sure that we've got good risk management. And you can check out our risk management course at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗠𝗏𝑐𝑜ol. Link is in the description of this video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.